Welcome back to my channel, you all. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to cut and sew a wrap top. We are going to go ahead and get right into it. You're going to start with 2 pieces of fabric that are folded in half. You're going to go ahead and draw size out your fabric. You're going to figure out how long you want your wrap top to be. I wanted my wrap top to be about 21 inches. So all I'm doing here now is just cutting off the excess fabric that I do not need. So yeah, you want to make sure you figure out how long you want your fabric to be, and you also want to make sure that the width is at least the widest measurement of your bodice. So the widest measurement of my bodice is my bust, so I made sure that the fabric was at least that wide, and then I folded it in half. Now I am also measuring out. Now I'm not usually actually using a pattern for this, I'm just freestyling it. But I have figured out how long I want my neckline to be. I wanted it to be about 8 inches wide. So I've marked 4 inches here, and then I marked another 4 inches for my shoulder. That's what the 2 pieces of chalk you are seeing here. The 2 chalked marks, that's what you're seeing there. And then down at the bottom over there, I was marking where my waist is. So when you are freestyling trying to cut, what's very important is to know what your measurements are and to be very intentional about how you're cutting. Here I'm just cutting the back neckline, which I'm using myself a curved ruler to go ahead and just draw that out. Chalk will always be your best friend, and so will these curved rulers. Here I am going in and just really drawing out my armhole. Now it's so easy to really do your armhole when you have a curved ruler, because it kind of has already created the curve for you for your armhole. And you can play around using this for your when you're making the sleeve as well. Now I'm just going in and perfecting my armhole, giving it a little bit more room. I'm going in and I'm checking it because my armhole is about 22 inches. So I decided to do it a little bit smaller because I wanted a small armhole. So I cut it on about 10 inches. So yeah, I'm actually cutting the front and the back together, I think. Yeah, I'm actually cutting just the back here. But I'll use the back as a pattern for my front. So we are just going ahead, we're going in and we're cutting the back first, because it'll be so much easier to cut out the front once you have cut the back, because the back does not have the wrap top element, which is very simple. Now I'm just going to draw out my side seam. I'm still checking to make sure the armhole is good because I don't want any mistakes. I do not have any pattern paper here in Tanzania, so everything has been a bit of a challenge, but it's basically me freestyling, because when I first started fashion designing, I freestyled all my patterns. But I did go ahead and cut out the side seam already, which it was really simple. I just used a curved ruler, but I didn't curve too much because I don't want a major curve, because I'm not that, my bust to my waist ratio is not that crazy. But I'm going in and I'm pinning the back part of the top on top of where I will be doing the front. So I'm just going to simply cut out the side seam and the armhole, and then I'm going to also cut out the shoulder. Now with the wrap top, it's not going to be the same width as your back, because you have to wrap it around you, so it has to be at least 2 to 3 inches longer on each side of your wrap top, because obviously we have 2 sides. It's going to be 2 sides for your wrap top because it's a 2-piece top in the front. There's 2 pieces that you're going to be using in the front. So we just cut out the basic bodice, and we're just going to put in a notch at the neckline here, so we know where we're cutting. We're going to use the curved ruler to kind of cut out our fabric. As you can see, when I had the back there, you can see that there was a lot of extra fabric for the front, which is totally fine. That's what you want, because you don't want it to be too wide neck. So you want to have a little extra room when you are cutting out your wrap top. So I'm just going in and I am perfecting the line that I'm going to be using for the wrap top. I'm using the curved ruler, and I think I used the straight ruler a little bit as well to cut this out also. Now we are going in, we're just going to cut the, it's obviously folded, so that's why we're cutting down the middle. But if your fabric was already cut, you don't have to go and cut it down the middle. But we are now going to go ahead and cut out our wrap top, the front part of our wrap top, which I am satisfied with the shape and the size and how everything is looking. Now mine's is double lined, so there are some things that, you know, won't apply to you when you're making the wrap top. Mine was double lined in the front, so I obviously have to go in and sew those pieces together, the front and the back lining. But yeah, that's how it came out for the cutting. So that's the front and that's the back. But I'm going to go in quickly and draw out my sleeve. Obviously I'm freestyling this as well. You know, when you are cutting a sleeve, you have to think of the sleeve, you have to think of it as half of a captain sleeve, a half of a captain hat. Like, you know, those pirates, they have those hats with like the round rim, and then they have like the little pointy part of the hat. That's how you have to think of it when you're cutting it out. So you want it to be kind of not super curvy, because obviously this is going to have to go around a armhole that is not mad curvy. So that's what you have to think of when you're drawing it out. But you can always use your curve ruler. I just marked how long I wanted my sleeves to be, so it was 8 inches. I am also cutting out the bottom part of my sleeve, which is going to be the side seam, which is actually right underneath your arm. That's what I'm cutting there. I'm just cutting it out here. And I am going in and checking it to make sure that it will be the same size. And of course I have added seam allowance. That's why it's a little bit bigger than what my actual armhole is. But I also added seam allowance for the armhole also. So I think it ended up being about like 11 or 12 inches, because my armhole is 22, but I want it to be 20. So I think I did it at 11 for both. So it's at least like 22 or 21 inches. Now, obviously, we have to have something that will pull the wrap top together, so that's what I'm cutting. This was a long piece of fabric that was cut on about 2 inches. Now, you just fold it. Now, after I put them both together, I'm going to fold it and I'm going to cut just the edge of it, which I want it to be kind of like a rounded tip for the wrap top, because I don't, you know, I just want a really cute look. So I'm just going in, I'm cutting that. Now, this was about, I think, 50 inches long, and it was 2 inches wide. And as you see, I'm just going in and I'm cutting. This one will be really simple. You're just going to sew it. You're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to sew it on about 1/2 or 1/4 of an inch. And then you will flip it inside out, and then you will attach it to the front of your wrap top where you have that little corner. Now here, obviously I have pinned the back and the front and the lining for the front of my wrap top, but if you did not add a lining, you don't have to worry about this part. But here I am pinning the shoulders together, and I'm also pinning the sides together so that we can just sew it together and it'll be nice and perfect and everything. Yeah, but as you can see, it folds over each other beautifully, and it's looking very, very good right now. I just love this wrap top. It came out so beautifully, actually. Now I'm going to show you guys what it looked like after I had sewn it together. Now obviously there was these strings that we used that will be used for the wrap top. I just simply sewed it at the base of the front of the top, as you can see right there. Yeah, that's where I sewed the wrap tops. Mine's is double lined, so it had a better finish. But after that, yeah, you guys see how it came out? Yeah, that's basically how we did it. We just sewed it. After we finished sewing the shoulder and the side seam together, we did that. So that was kind of like second to the last thing that we did. But now we are going to go in and hem the wrap top by folding it on 1/2 an inch and then sewing it. We folded it, I think, on 1/4 of an inch twice, and then we sewed it. Now this is our sleeve. You see how it looks like a little captain hat? I don't know what to call it. But I actually went ahead and I hemmed it. I always hem my sleeves first if I can help it. But simply we're just going to sew it right there. Yep, we're going to sew just a straight stitch, and if we want to, we can go ahead and serge it after we are done. And then once we have finished that, and after, I don't know, I hadn't sewn the hem yet. Well, I serged the hem though. I love to serge. Oh my god, it just gives it the best finish. But yeah, I'm just showing you guys how it came out after I serged the hem. You know, after you serge it or zigzag stitch it, you can easily just fold it back and just hem it. Super easy. You don't have to do too much. It doesn't have to be too dramatic. It will just be perfect for you. Now, after we have done all of that, I'm just going to go ahead and pin. We have sewn our sleeve already, our super cute little cap sleeve. We're going to go ahead, we're going to flip the shirt inside out, and then we are going to pin our sleeve. We're also going to flip our sleeve the right way, so both right sides of the fabric, you know, when I mean right side of the fabric, that means the sides of the fabric that will be showing when you wear it out. So we pin those two together all the way around 360, so when you sew it, it is simple and easy and you don't have any hassle whatsoever. There is how it came out after we have pinned it. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and sew it with a straight stitch, and then we will go and cut off all that excess fabric after we have sewn our straight stitch with our serger. Give it that nice, beautiful, clean finish. I tell you, whoever made the serger was simply a genius, because it just makes all the clothes look good on the inside. Like, if you could wear it inside out. That's why I love sergers. I just love when outfits looking neat. You know, there's no better. It just shows that that is top quality when the inside looks good and the outside looks good as well. But yeah, I'm just sewing the sleeve onto it now. Quick, simple, and easy. I am going to have an in-depth tutorial about how to cut and sew a sleeve. So for those who are like, oh my god, I wish it would slow down, don't worry. I have that tutorial coming up. Maybe I have posted it beforehand. I don't know. I would just go ahead and post that shortly, you know. But if I have not posted it in like 2 days, y'all can just remind me in the comment section. But yeah, so that's just me sewing it. Doing the sleeve is really simple. It's kind of, it's super simple. But yeah, that was it, I think, for the sleeve. That one was finished. And then, of course, we went ahead and we serged it with my favorite machine ever in life. You guys are going to see how clean it gets it. Look at how it's just cutting off all that extra fabric. I don't have to waste my time taking my little scissors doing that. It just cuts it all off and gives it the best, clean, finished look. Oh, so beautiful, right? And that is it. Oh, no, we're not done. We have to do a straight stitch for our hem. And that was the last thing we did for our wrap top, you guys. I did a straight hem on, I think, 1/4 of an inch. You know, after I serged it, I just flipped that baby twice, and we had this beautiful, gorgeous, clean stitch. But yeah, I don't think I showed the whole entire thing of me sewing it all the way to the end, actually. But you guys know it was finished, because this was the completed product. It looked so amazing. I wore this for my birthday, and I absolutely loved it. But thank you guys for sewing with me. Bye.